Kell is a small, quiet town of 200 people, about 375 miles south of Chicago. And as I'm exploring this town, you can see that there are no people around. It's midday here and the streets of Kell are empty. I'm guessing the reason why is that 34 years ago, one of Kell's citizens, a 10-year-old girl, was abducted and brutally murdered. And this horrific crime shook this town apart and has never been the same ever since. Her name was Amy Schulz, and she lived with her parents and two brothers south of Kell. On a hot summer night, July 1st, 1987, the Schulz family dog Biscuit ran away and Amy's brother Ryan, age 13, left the home and went to the village, which is a half-mile north, to look for the dog. He looked and gave up, and instead of heading back, he went to visit his grandfather who lived nearby. When Ryan didn't return, Amy became concerned and went out herself to look for Ryan and Biscuit. Since this was a small town and everyone knew and trusted one another, it wasn't uncommon for young kids to wander the neighborhood. But little did they know there was a visitor in town, and Amy was never seen alive again that night. The next day, an oil field worker found Amy's nude body 100 feet from an oil lease access road similar to this one in Dix, Illinois, which is 5 miles south of Dell. She was lying face down and covered in dirt. It seemed like she was trampled upon because of boot prints on her back. She was sexually assaulted and had a large open wound that exposed her spinal cord. There was blood everywhere, indicating she was murdered on the spot. Her clothes were scattered along the road 7 feet from her body, and tire tracks were also found. An autopsy was done which concluded that Amy was beaten and her body was ripped apart. She was strangled before being sexually assaulted. The time of death was between 9:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. I can't imagine the horror that this poor girl went through, and I don't think she understood why someone would do this to her. And how could she? She was only 10. Like I mentioned earlier, this tore the town of Kell apart. Fear engulfed every parent, knowing there was a monster walking amongst them. Children were not allowed outside without a parent. But even the kids didn't want to be out, fearing the monsters will get them. The town of Kell was under siege. The police, however, had plenty of evidence the monster left behind. There were hairs, fibers, footprints, and of course the tire tracks. They collected everything they can get. The police were determined to catch the psychopath. An impression was made on the tire tracks, and Illinois police sent a nationwide bulletin looking for any car that matched the tire imprints. 3.5 months later, a 1977 Plymouth Fury was found abandoned in Glacier National Park in Montana. The tire thread on that car matched the imprints left on the crime scene. Better yet, the owner of the car was arrested for shooting at forest rangers. His name is Cecil Sutherland, age 32, and a former resident of Dix, Illinois, the town where Amy's body was found. Cecil Sutherland was a huge man, 6'4" and over 200 pounds. Cecil looked like a monster, and he tried to cover his monstrous act, and he was somewhat successful. It was 1987 and DNA technology was still new, so the police couldn't directly nail Cecil on evidence they presently had. But the law managed to sentence Cecil to 15 years in prison for another crime. In 1988, Cecil was indicted for Amy's brutal rape and murder. Years would pass and crime technology would improve, and in 2000, Cecil Sutherland was convicted for the rape and murder of Amy Schulz, from the tire tracks but also from the pubic and dog hairs found on Amy's body. Cecil kept his dog in his car at all times, and the dog hair matched the ones found on Amy. The pubic hair found on Amy's was linked to Cecil as well. Cecil was sentenced to death but later turned to a life sentence because Illinois abolished the death penalty in 2001. He will rot in jail, but this doesn't get Amy back to her family. Amy Rachel Schulz is resting here at Donoho Prairie Cemetery in Texaco, Illinois, a few miles from Kell. I'm going to show you her grave in this small but beautiful cemetery. In 1990, Dennis Schulz, Amy's dad, founded the Amy Center in Amy's memory. The Amy Schulz Advocacy Center goal is to help ease the pain of child abuse survivors and to prevent other children from experiencing sexual and physical abuse. Here is Amy's grave. You are a free spirit. You had your life taken away from you, and wherever you are, I hope you find peace. Thank you for watching this video, and please like and subscribe. I will see you soon. Goodbye.